right to it. I'm gonna just ignite Mags to go to the moon.
Uh-oh.
It was so exciting today. We're tweeting at each other. We're messaging each other. Depp won. That's it. We didn't have to say there was no other word.
Johnny Depp.
It was just
Johnny Cage wins.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like looking at my clock, like, okay, I got 15 more minutes. I got 8 more minutes. I'm like literally counting down, and then I'm watching live, and they do that crazy thing where they got to go back.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's made for a movie. This is like made for a movie.
It is.
I come back, and it was like, nope, Johnny wins, Johnny wins, Johnny wins, and I'm just like, oh,
yes,
Mags. What was it like? What was going through your head when this was happening? Was it beyond the obvious cheers? Was there anything that you were just thinking?
Well, gosh, I'll say this as a woman, I'm getting sick of all the, not to go down the rabbit path with this, but believe all women is just is dumb.
Yeah.
And the fact that this happened to a Johnny Depp type, and it's unfortunate this happened to him, but to be quite honest, and this is something that I believe, and even other people have said, is that in a way, and I wouldn't say it's a good thing, but in a way, it's helpful for somebody who's with his kind of stardom that got this, and he's literally everybody else out there that has dealt with issues, and especially for the men's side of things. And this is a huge win for that, because this completely disrupts and unravels that narrative. And I'm so happy for him. I'm so glad that this is over. He didn't really care about the money. He wanted his reputation back. And that is important, because in this world of social media, where we've seen people like Gina Carano and other types out there that get canceled and they lose opportunities and all this other stuff because of false accusations, that needs to stop. And it's such a step, instead of a step backward, where what's been happening the last couple of years with these movements and such, and canceling people left and right, that's regression. That's not progression at all moving forward. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't even help any real victims out there who say, stop representing me. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm trying to keep it PG here with my voice, but it's just
voice. You'd like to speak up for yourself.
Yeah.
It's just like, let me speak for myself. Let me speak on my behalf. Don't try to. The turds in the world need to just shut up. Excuse me.
Yep. Amber's getting wrecked on Twitter, and it's nice to see. Soul Assassin says, "Yeah,
yes. Yeah. And I've
yeah.
had at least 2 tweets, and I never would expect this, but I just kind of spoke with emotion. I probably wasn't thinking straight, but I kind of apologize for some of the language that I used. But I'm just sick and tired of this narrative of stop speaking for me as a woman. Shut up. It's just you're not the real victim here.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you, Brandon.
Cheers.
You bet. Well, it was interesting, because in one of the groups that I'm in on Twitter, someone had posted that little meme of Lego people. Well, I posted it, and acquired meme of the day. Yeah, it's blown up, and it's up there. It's number 1, number 2 on the trending topic of me poo. So my 15 minutes of fame are over.
Yeah.
No, not to us, my friend.
But still, everybody is sick and tired of this. I mean, just the fact that the general public outside, I'm sure the jury saw it, because they were eating with people from the gallery, for lunch breaks. It's just, I'm just so happy that they, granted that $2 million award for, I forget what part of it was. I just kept hearing yes, yes, yes. And I was like, thank you, Lord Jesus, because this is a win for actual justice. You need to take everybody's stories on an individual basis. You can't just blanketly believe everybody just because they have, or anybody. I lie, you lie, everybody lies. It's not saying that we're bad people. We're just human beings. We're flawed. So of course this happens. But then to take it and to say, to believe lies and then ruin somebody's life over those false accusations, that's like for me, people who believe in that stuff are accomplices to that situation. So I don't know. I'm a little harsh on that. So it's just.
Well, and it's just such a difficult, challenging thing because of the Hollywood celebrity thing. Just kind of muddies the water so much in so many different ways. And you know, Ryan, when you see this you finally see some vindication out there and that kind of thing. And I know we probably all have different stories in our lives. Maybe not, you know, gender in a certain way, maybe not a spouse or relationship that you were in, or you saw something, or, you know, a family member, those kinds of things. We all kind of have these sort of like moments that we kind of have that help guiding our compass, and we can kind of see and scale against a story like this. What has been your thoughts of, like, from a society standpoint? Because you get into some really deep, you know, philosophical stuff on your stream sometimes. So just curious what you think as a society, how you think this will impact some things.
Well, I personally think that this was a great day. I haven't felt this happy since they blew up the second Death Star.
I love it.
That's a meme for you. Can we get her face on a Death Star and just have it go?
Oh, yes. Somebody do that.
That's a meme. There you go.
A little fart sound as it blows up.
Oh, it's just the poo. It's just the poo that's left behind, and it just kind of fades away. Thank you, Ryan, for some great imagery that makes our day pretty awesome.
But in regards to society, we are returning to what was a time of equality before the law between men and women, which is what we and our forefathers fought for against the current day, which is to #believe all women, which is utterly insane. You can't believe all people of a certain type. That is ridiculous. That is equity, not equality. So I think this is a great day for justice, for equality before the law, for the rule of law, just like with Kyle Rittenhouse, and just like when the rebellion blew up the 2 Death Stars.
That's a great reference. I don't even know. You got me, because of all the things that you'd come back with, that was not on my radar screen as expectations. So Ryan wins the trophy on that one. He's caught me off guard a little bit. I'm like, I'm not sure I ever can be speechless. I'm not sure. I'm so riddled with my ADHD and all the other letters after my name that I don't think I could be speechless. But that one got me pretty good. Didn't see that coming. Troy, you know, we're a little older, so we tend to have some different sort of, like, I don't want to say baggage, but we tend to carry with us a different type of resume and track record and those kinds of things. We've grown up with Johnny, like Johnny and our age. It's like we've grown up with this guy. I've met him a couple of times. It gets a little weird seeing someone go through this. What's your thoughts on the journey to this point, and then kind of how you felt today?
I've had a lot of, well, I've done a couple streams about the Depp trial. I've literally been following it real time for the past 6 weeks. So I know the details. Actually, Mag's been seeing me and liking my tweets as it's been going out. I've got a lot to say about it, but I've had some friends who haven't been following it as closely coming back and saying, well, why do I care about these Hollywood, you know, elite people? And it comes down to I care about the law. Okay. Yes. And it takes sometimes these people with this much money to fight these things out, to change the court of public opinion, to, you know, as Ryan said, bring it back to the center square. You know, we have a 14th Amendment in this country that I think too many people have forgotten about. We're all supposed to be equal under the law. There's a reason why that lady standing on top of Old Bailey has blinders on. Right? She doesn't see gender, color, doesn't care what your preference is, none of those things. Everyone is equal under the law. Now, I could throw out a black pill and kind of derail it and say, well, but then there's the Sussman trial. I guess everyone's equal under the law, but some people are above the law. But putting that aside, you know, we really do have to say, you know, I was born in the 70s, lived through the 70s, the 80s. And I know what real women's liberation was all about. What every woman that cared about liberation, what they wanted was equality. They wanted to be treated the same as a man for doing the same job. They wanted to be treated fairly. And so many of those women that you have to respect who blazed that trail in the 70s are looking at the ding dongs in the 2000s going, you're setting us back. You're undoing what we did. You know, that battle is over and you're undoing it to fight it again, you know? And I think that's a big part of what Me Too had become. Yes, I agree. We need to listen to all women.
Every case.
We believe evidence. That's what our law is based on. That's what fairness is based on.
Absolutely. So Soul Assassin's firing up on Ryan's imagery here with the turd star.
Well, I don't know how to make memes, so
and that's
I
no
might
moon.
as well suggest
It's a turd star. I'm not sure what a good space station reference there, but I like that. We're on the right track. We're on the right track, and I'm with you. And lovely Sherry is joining us. Hey there, lady. Thank you so much for coming in.
The mistress of memes. Oh man, she can throw them out.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And speaking of throwing them out,
I haven't smelt it in
Can
so
we throw
long.
Eve Barlow down the shaft into the reactor core, please?
Yes.
Well,
In
I'm sure she's
Minecraft,
gonna be-
we can do that.
I'm sure she's going to be seeing some grumpies in her future.
So, so as we close, how long until it becomes a movie? How long? What's the
Oh.
over under on when it becomes some sort of adaptation?
Oh, it depends who wins the culture war.
Yes.
Will it be a tragic tale of a victim woman, or will it be the triumph of justice and liberty for all? Who
the thing I
knows?
find kind of
Depends who
interesting out
wins
of
the
this-
culture war.
Ironcaster, what?
The thing I find kind of interesting out of this, basically having done some traveling this weekend, having kind of gone all around, I've been talking with people all over, and there's like no one that I've met who did know about it that was in support of Amber Heard. It was all just people who were, yes, fans of Johnny Depp, but then I think a lot of them were also hearing the actual evidence, getting to see, you know, what happened. And, you know, I had to kind of go and correct a thing or two myself, but it was largely everyone I've met was all team Johnny Depp. Like, down to like going to the store today to buy pet supplies. I was like checking my phone like for the updates, like, all right, because I knew like, oh, the report's gonna come out any minute now, and refreshing, and then me and like a couple of cashiers and a couple of customers were all just around, just kind of talking about it, and not a single one of them like was on the side of Amber Heard. And I was kind of surprised to see just how out there in like the real world, the normal world outside of my window, people who were tuning in on this one. This was a case that got the masses' attention.
Yeah, I think that the fact that this case got so insane. Keely Chow's here. Hey, Keely Chow, what's going on? We're talking a little bit of the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp stuff. I think if a normie doesn't know the case, the moment they would learn any of the details, this is why I think it'll be adapted to a movie. I don't know how they'll get the rights to do it all, or a book, but it's one of those things where if you played this out and wrote it properly, a normie would be like, no way. They'd be on their phone like, you know, oh, no, she didn't say or do that, did she? You're like, oh, crap, she did. You know, so, I mean, yeah, it's that kind of thing. So it just, my wife's responsible. She's a loon. That's literally what she said when I said Johnny won. She goes, oh, yeah, she's a loon. Bigger question.
One moment, though, I think that got everyone's attention, though, on this case was when was in the trial when they got to the poop story.
Oh yeah, because
that was
when
when
put on the bed went
tuning
viral.
in.
Absolutely, yeah, that went. And then of course the turd and the poo references went viral too. So it was like it was really like three. It was 3 or 4 layers of the same story getting out there to people. So,
and not only that, but they even read it. So this is in the record. #AmberTurd.
Yes.
Seeing her reaction to that, I mean, you could see her furiously blinking and just, you know, this face of her, you know, it's just.
What about,
that's what she will forever be known as.
What about redefining?
Yeah.